Settlements of this kind are a common feature in most rural parts of Zambia, especially farming communities in the southern province of the country. They normally consist of the head of the household, who might be male or female, and several dependents. There will be more than one structure to accommodate the household head, his children, or his spouses, in the case of those married to more than one wife. However, new structures are emerging. They are made of cement blocks modeled after the traditional homesteads, with the main structure along with several smaller ones to accommodate dependents. The structures are part of a package offered to residents of this part of MAZABUKA, whose land was in recent years discovered to be home to sizable deposits of nickel, a mineral used in steel products and most household goods.
When we look at the package that we are giving to our people in terms of housing, we are replacing like for the structures that they had initially when they were on the mine surface rights area. And what we have actually done for them is for those that had, for the main houses, those that had maybe 2 rooms, the minimum that we are doing for the main house is 4 rooms. So there's that improvement. And then for those that had 4 rooms, 5 rooms, we are adding an extra room to them. So this is a typical household of one family that has been relocated. So we have the main house, then we have houses of dependents, and their other effects.
The owner of this new household is delighted at being the new owner of brand new structures that consist of a main house and several for his dependents. Unlike his previous homestead, where several households had to depend on one borehole for their drinking water, here fewer than 4 families will be sharing one.
Yakalokulumba maningi kubantu ba Mabiza zwenchi bakasiga iwamba kuti mu program chitoka chise kwamba tipatuyakire imu manda uli manda kutoka chise mu manda akali atakali kabotu emu akutuyakira manda azunye na permanent aboba akutubolera migoti mibotu ekunywa menda mabotu.
Mabiza Resources has not only compensated the residents with new structures for their living quarters, but has also increased acreage and prepared it for planting.
The principles that we used to relocate them was that if you owned, a 1 hectare piece of land where you originally were settled, when we move you, we will give you about 1.5 or 2 hectares, depending on how much land you had in the area where you originally were habiting. Then we also provide the initial input in the year that we move you. At the end of the day, we would like to make a life for the people that we have moved better than we found them.
For those whose households were done much earlier, they are already working their fields. This field is owned by a mother of 7 who is also the head of the family.
Kaibutina twalima alimu kutihula yaje yabunogwa tani ngatulalima ujita utagwa twalima lya twasambala na mapoga lya twamana tuyatumali tuyondo twajana twagwaha gubana bahijigora.
This man was among the earliest to be moved into this new residential area. Married to 2 women, the man is a father of 17 children. All of them live in the family compound built for him by the mines. From the look of things, he's settled already with an additional asset to his belongings, a grinding mill that brings him extra income.
Okay. Ano chetu jita tulalima mapopwe, tulalima nyemu, amisale kwiga makoiri, tujisingombe, ero ndirigisajikayo, ankuku kwa hiyo, ampongo kwa hiyo.
There are several early comers to this new settlement. This man also moved in the early stages.
The man cleared the 10 hectares of land for us so that we would start applying. Then the 5 hectares was left for construction of our buildings. Then we were compensated, of course, for cattle each person. And the first year we were given 1 hectare of fertilizer and seed. Yes. From there, they sank some boreholes.
One of the distinguishing features of this part of Zambia is the keeping of cattle. It's a traditional way of life. Mabiza Resources has taken into account the need to provide for this important asset in the lives of the residents here. The company is in the process of building a dam.
The dam that we are looking at is a dam that has been constructed by the Ministry of Agriculture for the relocated community in conjunction with the Munali Nickel mine. The purpose of the dam is to, help the farmers in terms of their livestock, to provide drinking water for their livestock, and potentially also to provide enough water for agricultural activities when the area is dry. As you know, in Southern Province and MAZABUKA to be specific, we have had dry spells for quite a long time, and the water problem is a serious challenge. And the provision of this dam has enabled the community around this place to have access to water for their animals.
The area surrounding the dam is common land available for use by anybody. Some parts of it have already been taken up for the growing of vegetables, a practice the mine would like to see taken up by most people to ensure food security.
There are many stars that we see in the night, isn't it? Yes. But the sun is also a star. Now, the sun looks bigger because it is...
The education of the young people of this settlement has been taken care of. Mabiza Resources has built a modern school that has provided an opportunity for education. The classrooms are not as full as their counterparts in the area, making learning more effective. Access to textbooks has been made easy because the company has provided pads called ZU pads, where resource materials have been loaded. Pupils have been taught how to access different lessons when the need arises.
Okay, go to grade 6. Grade 6A. Yes, there. Then go to
For the teachers at Munsangu Primary School, it's simply a joy to teach in a structure that stands out, especially in a rural area where such structures have been few and far between.
The building itself, sir, it's well built. Even people around here, they are admiring this school. When it comes to the use of the ZU pads that we are giving, it's making us as teachers our work to be much easier.
Here, the number of children is manageable. Like in my grade 7 class, I've got only 20 pupils. So I can reach them all at any time I'm teaching. So they respond very well to my teachings.
And we opened this school last year on 18th January 2015. When we opened this school, we started with grade 1 to 6. Yes, this is the second time now. This is the third term for operation here. And currently now we have a population of 159 pupils. Yes, initially it was supposed to have, in January it was supposed to have grade 8 and 10. Now because of lack of teachers, we haven't opened those classes. But anytime we have teachers, we are going to have grade 10, one class, also grade 8, one class.
The young people attending lessons here reflect the joy of their teachers. Some of them share their feelings regarding the facilities and the learning environment, along with their dreams for the future.
This school is very just beautiful. I like the way they built this school. I want to become a doctor, so that I should be helping patients.
Munsangu Primary School can boast of 10 teachers' houses, 3 bedrooms and other facilities that come with a standard house. Appropriate accommodation is not easy to come by, especially in rural Zambia.
Accommodation here is very good. We have standard houses with running water in our houses, electrified houses, so with accommodation we can't complain.
Access to health facilities is still a challenge in some parts of rural Zambia, a challenge the Zambian government has been and continues to address. Bearing this in mind, Mabiza Resources has built a clinic for the residents here.
So andiza masiku ojisirwa mwana chira kufosinga kuti kubutikihe mwana awori anajisidwe kukede kuchitira kuti paka kuchukutya nini utube but ino tokabayo nikuyaba wana wamisango olo 19 hours mulanyamuka mubiri wa neighbor wakoboiti ndisindikirano yaka kuimba so tokabayo kuti pakajana koji kusena bukuyifi utoro masiku lakwaniye kubuka nani chingocho wakonkomoda vanesi bakubuhe nogulu ogu wali bula kumaningi.
For this woman, this clinic represents a strong argument in favor of health facilities in every part of the country, as she recounts how she lost her child to a problem that could have been prevented.
Loko kuli ninafera mwana pa anaduala usiku because kwanza be clinic benzeti pasa chape basi wa maini amina babidoni. So, pamela tunatuma phone kuti basi bwetenge mwana kwenda ku clinic because ku clinic ni kutali tawe yasira. Fikira mwana chitabwanji amwali.
Mabiza Resources has also extended its investment in health facilities outside the resettled areas by rehabilitating a maternity ward in MAZABUKA town. While the area is outside its operational boundaries, the mining firm decided nonetheless to extend its assistance. The distances between and among the new settlements may not be negotiated without reliable bridges. Mabiza Resources has responded to the challenge and built 2 bridges. In the past, residents in this area could not negotiate these passages due to their treacherous terrains. Traditional leaders in the area seem elated by the developments. They speak of amicable relations between the local communities and the mining firm, whose interventions have proved relevant to their needs.
If there is anything that is more difficult for local Zambians, those who are not near the rivers, is the clean water. Now, wherever the mines have interfered with the community there, they have made sure that they give them clean water by sinking boreholes. I think in that area, the mining has sunk more than 50 boreholes, if I'm not mistaken. So to me, life starts with water. Minus water, your life becomes miserable.
The the future is good. We have a strong future with the mines, and that the English people are coming back, because I had already some discussions with them. They promise that they are going to do a lot of things for us. Even the things we had agreed in the first time they came, we are going to work with them.
The Zambian economy has been dominated by the mining sector, with copper as its major output and foreign exchange earner. In addition, there are several other minerals that include nickel. Due to the volatility of commodity prices on the international market, Mabiza Resources has sometimes suspended production. However, the firm has continued with its community resettlement programs and projects, estimated at around $7 million United States dollars. The projects undertaken so far speak to those sectors the Zambian government has been working in. This is why government officials in the area express a sense of relief seeing the contributions of the mining firm.
When the mine came into MAZABUKA, some villagers were displaced. So the school and the clinic were built in the resettlement area where these villagers have been resettled by the mines. And apart from that, when our villagers were resettled, they were built modern houses where they are living now. And the mines also sank boreholes in this area. So you see that our people are accessing clean drinking water. So that's how useful the mines have been to the district.
The community interventions were coordinated under a foundation with representation from the mining company, the community, the government, and the traditional establishment.
What we have done in our engagement with the community, we have formed a foundation trust. And the members of the foundation trust are drawn from various sectors. From the company, we've got 2 representatives who sit on the board. Then we also have the district commissioner who represents central government. Then we have the town clerk who represents the local government, and also from the community. They choose a representative to sit on the board. So what happens is that the company provides funds to the trust, and the trustees, who are the board members, they sit and decide how those funds are going to be utilized.
The Mgoto Foundation Trust will come to an end, by the end of the year. But that is, not bad news for the company, for the people at large, because we are forming another foundation, and this foundation has already been formed. It is called Munsangu Foundation. This foundation has got a focus which goes beyond, the Munali area. It looks at the region, it looks at the entire country. It even has got the potential to go international. What we are thinking in the Munsangu Foundation is that it's a body that is going to, look at education projects. If people have got, concerns, education, driven programs, it will be able to fund, such activities. Activities of agriculture. We understand that in the rural parts of Zambia, the major, preoccupation, the major livelihood is agriculture. And if we are going to help the locals in rural Zambia, we need to look at what is it that they are currently doing and work on that, to uplift them, to get them to a higher level. We are looking at livelihoods. How can we improve the livelihoods of people in various areas? This foundation trust of Munsangu is there to stay. It is going to operate as a private company, as a private entity, as a business. So while it will be a social entity, so while it is going to, be addressing the social economic needs of the people, it must run as a business. It must sustain itself for it to be, to make a greater impact in our communities.
Looking back, the Mabiza Resources General Manager says, reflectively, he will always be glad that the company has been able to change some lives for the better and forever.
It's a daunting task because you need to mobilize resources, you need to engage the community, you need to allow them to understand. They need to be patient that these things are going to be delivered. So end of the day, yes, it has happened.
The Zambian government has embraced industrialization and modernization as the guiding principles of its development trajectory. But this direction has sometimes been blamed for displacement of local people to pave way for new developments without adequate compensation. What has happened in MAZABUKA district in the southern province of Zambia, however, seems to suggest that a viable model for industrialization and adequate compensation has been born.